Behind the scenes of the royal family, a drama is unfolding that could shake the foundations of the British monarchy. Rumors are circulating that Queen Consort Camilla carries an ancient curse, threatening not only her well-being, but also King Charles's throne. This isn't mere tabloid gossip, but ominous shadows from the past that, sources say, are frightening even Duchess Kate and Prince William. Mystical signs and inexplicable events suggest something sinister lurks within the palace walls. From the beginning, Camilla and Prince Charles's love story has been shrouded in mystery and foreboding. Strange occurrences and ominous omens seem to follow them at every turn. From Princess Diana's prophetic dreams to unexplained coincidences at Highgrove, everything points to a possible curse. To uncover the truth, one must return to the story's origins. It all began in the distant 1970s when Camilla and Prince Charles first met on a polo field. Their romance was passionate and secret, like forbidden fruit, and rumored to be marked by something dark. The young prince, heir to the throne, and the woman destined to be his shadow for many years. But what if their connection was doomed from the start? Few know that on the day of their first meeting in 1970, London was struck by a sudden and severe thunderstorm, the worst in decades. Witnesses recalled lightning striking the ground and the wind uprooting ancient trees. It was on this day that Prince Charles first met Camilla's gaze. Was it a coincidence, or was fate already trying to warn them? Insiders claim Princess Diana knew far more than she let on. She called Camilla the third person in the marriage, and some believe this wasn't just an accusation, but a prediction. The young princess, full of hope and dreams, and the shadow of another woman slowly destroying her life. Troubling dreams began to haunt Princess Diana during her marriage to Prince Charles. In personal diaries, later made public, she mentioned a mysterious woman with a ring whose presence seemed to eclipse the sunlight. Was it intuition or mere coincidence? Princess Diana often shared with loved ones the feeling of coldness in rooms where Camilla had been, claiming to sense an unseen presence. After Princess Diana's tragic death in 1997, strange events began to occur with Camilla herself. According to former Clarence House employees, unexplained rustling noises were heard in the house, icy drafts were felt even on the warmest days, and quiet, sinister laughter echoed from empty rooms. Camilla felt the hatred of millions, and this was only the beginning of something ominous. In '98, exactly 1 year after Princess Diana's tragic death, Camilla made her first public appearance with Prince Charles. On that day, something anomalous happened. All the photographs from the event were marred by inexplicable dark spots that obscured Camilla's face. The official explanation was a technical glitch, but superstitious people spoke of mystical imprints of a soul. Simple coincidence? Perhaps. But what if it wasn't? One of the maids who worked at Clarence House in the late 1990s shared a shocking story on condition of anonymity. One night she heard crying coming from Camilla's room. Thinking her mistress needed help, she knocked on the door. The crying suddenly stopped, and a sleepy and irritated Camilla opened the door. "What do you need?" she asked. When the maid explained her concern, Camilla turned pale and said, "But it wasn't me. The room was empty. There was no one else in it except Camilla." In 2000, Camilla first shared her nightmares with Prince Charles. According to rumors spread by former staff, she would wake up in a cold sweat, claiming to see the silhouette of a woman in white standing by her bed. Prince Charles, always interested in mystical phenomena, reportedly invited a medium who performed a secret cleansing ritual in their bedroom. Afterward, the strange occurrences did not stop completely, but became much less frequent. Let's return to the spring of 2005 when Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles married. This day seemed to be a triumph of love, but fate seemed to haunt the couple from the start. The wedding ceremony had to be postponed due to the death of Pope John Paul II, which in itself seemed ominous. On the wedding day, an unprecedented thunderstorm struck the British capital, as if the heavens were expressing their displeasure. Witnesses recalled Camilla looking unusually pale and nervous, her hands visibly shaking as she accepted the wedding ring. But these were just the visible signs. Even stranger events were unfolding behind the scenes. On the eve of the celebration, something inexplicable happened. Camilla's wedding dress, kept in the dressing room, was found torn. According to the servants, no one had entered the room. One of the seamstresses who worked on the gown later confessed to her relatives that she had noticed strange prints on the fabric, resembling wet handprints. When she shared her concerns with Camilla, The latter flew into a rage and forbade anyone from talking about the incident. One can only imagine the state of a woman who had waited for this day her entire life, only to face a series of mysterious events, as if nature itself was opposing her happiness. That same evening, after the official ceremony at Windsor Castle, another event occurred that never made it into the press. An antique mirror in the royal apartments suddenly cracked for no apparent reason. The castle staff was horrified but received strict orders to remain silent. Rumor has it that Camilla, upon seeing the broken mirror, whispered, "She's still here." Who this she is remains a mystery. However, the strange coincidences did not end there. Years later, during King Charles' coronation in 2023, Camilla's dress unexpectedly tore right in front of the television cameras. A minor inconvenience, it would seem, but for those who believe in bad omens, it was an ominous sign. Is Camilla under some kind of curse? It is said that Princess Kate and Prince William witnessed this incident and were quite surprised. What their reaction was remains a matter of speculation. In the public eye, Prince William and Kate Middleton represent the epitome of a royal couple. But behind the flawless facade, there appear to be deep anxieties and tensions. There are persistent assumptions that Kate has never trusted Camilla Parker Bowles, which is understandable given her role in the royal family. Insiders report that shortly after her marriage to Prince William in 2011, Kate sought the services of a fortune teller. The purpose of this visit, it is rumored, was to protect her husband and future children from the negative influence of her stepmother on Camilla. Evidence of these fears may lie in Kate's choice of jewelry, particularly sapphires and pearls, which are believed to possess protective properties. Sapphire is traditionally associated with protection from evil forces, and pearls symbolize purity. One of the former aides to the Duchess of Cambridge claims to have once caught her studying an ancient book dedicated to the protective amulets of the royal family. When asked directly, Kate abruptly ended the conversation, stating that some traditions must be observed. This incident raises questions about what threat the young princess may be feeling and what she is preparing for. Prince William also demonstrates a restrained attitude towards Camilla in public, avoiding warm greetings and prolonged conversations. At a reception in 2022, he demonstratively turned away when she tried to make a joke. It is said that he blames her for her past casting a shadow on his future. In 2018, during a private dinner, Prince William allegedly refused to raise a toast to Camilla, which, according to witnesses, created a tense atmosphere. King Charles, apparently, was extremely unhappy but chose not to comment on the situation. It remains to be seen what lies behind these actions, a simple family squabble or a harbinger of more serious events. Let's delve into the atmosphere of Highgrove, the favorite residence of King Charles and Queen Camilla, a place shrouded in mysteries and legends. The gardens, lovingly cultivated by Camilla, are not only pleasing to the eye, they are rumored to hold an imprint of her destiny. It is said that in 2018, on the eve of an important visit, a rare variety of rose suddenly withered, which was perceived by superstitious gardeners as an ominous sign. One can imagine Camilla strolling along the winding paths, where each flower seems to whisper stories of the past to her. Her passion for gardening is well known, but there have been rumors that she uses plants not only for beauty, but also for protection against evil forces. One of the former maids told of strange rituals that the queen performs in the garden on moonlit nights. Allegedly, armed with silver scissors, she walks around the grounds, cutting certain flowers and placing them in the rooms, pursuing unknown goals, whether protective or some more sinister. No less mysterious are the night sounds coming from the estate. Former employees claim to have heard footsteps in empty rooms. While King Charles dismisses these stories, Camilla, it is rumored, once turned pale after witnessing a similar phenomenon. How would you feel if you were in her place? In the north wing of Highgrove is a mysterious room, the door of which is always locked. None of the current servants have seen its contents, and the key is kept personally by Camilla. Some say that it contains items related to Princess Diana, others that it is a place for occult rituals. Truth remains hidden behind 7 seals, yet a palpable atmosphere of mystery hangs around this room. In 2020, on the anniversary of Princess Diana and Prince Charles' engagement, during a thunderstorm, lightning struck an old oak tree growing near Highgrove. a tree King Charles considered his spiritual refuge. The oak split in two, and even the most skeptical admitted that the coincidence seemed ominous. It is said that Camilla did not leave the house for 3 days after the incident, as if fearing an unknown danger. In the highest circles of the British monarchy, a serious confrontation is brewing between Duchess Catherine and Queen Camilla, one that goes far beyond mere dislike, turning into a fierce struggle for influence, and perhaps for the throne itself. An incident that occurred at a social event in 2023 became a vivid confirmation of this. Camilla seemingly accidentally took the seat intended for Duchess Catherine in the front row. Camera lenses captured Catherine's restrained pursing of her lips, while Prince William gave Queen Camilla a piercing look full of hidden disapproval. This episode was seen by many as an open challenge. Subsequently, Princess Catherine presented Camilla with a bouquet of white lilies, traditionally symbolizing forgiveness, but in this context carrying a hint of mourning. This gesture, according to observers, was executed with subtle irony. One can only imagine the princess's expression, an outwardly calm smile, concealing a steely gaze. The court photographer who captured this moment of peaceful offering later shared with close friends that the atmosphere between the two women was so tense that a literal physical chill could be felt. Experts in nonverbal communication drew attention to how Princess Catherine held the bouquet. The flowers were deliberately lowered, which in Victorian flower symbolism could mean separation or even a hidden threat. King Charles found himself in a difficult situation, torn between his love for his wife and the need to consider the interests of his son. Rumor has it that back in 2021, he sought advice from a longtime astrologer friend. The forecast was disappointing. The stars warned of a looming split. This astrologer, whose name is kept strictly secret, allegedly warned the monarch of an impending dark shadow that could overshadow the marital union. According to insiders, King Charles was so concerned about the prediction that he ordered a special talisman for Camilla, a brooch adorned with sapphires and pearls, which she now often wears to important events, hoping, apparently, to ward off trouble. The moment of truth arrived. In 2020, at a reception with philanthropists, something extraordinary happened. Camilla's family ring, adorned with an impressive gemstone, cracked in the midst of a welcoming handshake. Camera lenses dispassionately captured the bewilderment on her face. A barely perceptible tremor ran through her hand, and the friendly smile instantly faded. Connoisseurs of occult sciences hastened to deliver their verdict. This is a harbinger of imminent collapse and the sunset of her brilliant fortune. Just imagine this woman, who has weathered storms and hardships, and suddenly, such a devastating blow of fate. The public froze in amazement, and the virtual space was filled with the most incredible speculation. Expert jewelers tried to find a rational explanation for what happened, pointing to possible microscopic defects in the stone's structure or sudden temperature fluctuations. However, for those who believe in mystical predestination, this became an unconditional confirmation that the ominous curse is gaining momentum. Notably, the crack on the stone formed a bizarre pattern resembling the Latin letter D. A random coincidence or an ominous sign indicating Princess Diana's initial? Photographs instantly flew around the internet, and thousands of people saw in this a sinister message from the other world. After this incident, Camilla, according to rumors, refused to wear jewelry with precious stones for several months, preferring modest pearl necklaces. Kate and Prince William, according to some reports, did not express much surprise. Insiders from the royal family claim that they had long foreseen Camilla's downfall. It is said that Princess Kate carries a special talisman, a pendant with a sapphire, passed down to her by Princess Diana through Prince William. This artifact serves as a kind of shield, protecting her from the effects of the sinister curse. A former palace security officer shared in a private conversation an interesting piece of information that Princess Kate once invited a woman to the palace, presented as an interior design consultant. However, this mysterious guest spent several hours alone in the Duchess's private chambers, and after her departure, the rooms were thoroughly fumigated with incense. In the corridors of the royal court, whispers circulate that Queen Camilla feels the heavy burden of the past. In 2017, during a social gathering, an imprudent mention of Princess Diana's name cast a shadow over the evening, like a ghost from years past. According to eyewitnesses, the Queen visibly grew nervous, her gaze becoming uneasy, and King Charles was quick to change the subject. One can only imagine the tension Camilla experiences when the past intrudes on her present, like an uninvited guest. Her smile in public often appears strained, which does not escape the attention of observers. One of the former maids shared a curious detail. Camilla would sharply correct her when she tried to find out why the Queen avoided mirrors. "You never know who might be looking from there," she remarked. "Is it a strange phobia or a real fear that haunts her?" It is known that in Camilla's bedroom at Highgrove, all the mirrors are covered with heavy curtains at night. This is not just a whim, but a strict rule. As for King Charles, it is said that he believes in predestination more than it seems at first glance. Back in the 90s, he showed interest in esotericism, and according to rumors, still keeps an old diary with prophecies. One of them states that love will bring trouble to the crown. One can't help but wonder how close these words are to the truth. Known for his commitment to organic gardening and unconventional methods, King Charles reportedly turned to several mediums after ascending the throne. One of them allegedly predicted something so ominous that the monarch was forced to cancel a number of public events, citing a sudden malaise. The content of the prophecy remains a secret, but after this incident, Queen Camilla's security was increased. In the quiet of Highgrove Estate, away from prying eyes, Camilla indulges in contemplating her roses. Gusts of wind create the illusion of a whisper, as if the garden is full of invisible voices. It is said that once, in a moment of heartfelt candor, she confessed to a close friend that she felt someone was watching her. This episode occurred in 2022, after another tense discussion with Prince William. King Charles, leaving his wife alone with her painful thoughts, departed for London. It was noticeable how her hands trembled as she performed the usual ritual of watering the flowers. A minor detail, however, did not escape the attention of observers. One of the Highgrove gardeners said that Camilla, like King Charles, finds solace in talking to plants. But there is one notable feature. She avoids communicating with white roses, once adored by Princess Diana. Moreover, these flowers grow separately, in a secluded corner of the garden, and Camilla tries to avoid this part of the estate. Is it a whim or a manifestation of superstitious fear? Meanwhile, Princess Kate does not stand aside from what is happening. In 2023, she reportedly ordered a mysterious amulet from a jeweler, an elegant ring with engraved symbols designed to protect her. Prince William, despite his skepticism, supported his wife. Their alliance against Camilla is growing stronger, and this is no longer just family discord, but a struggle for the future. The designer, who wished to remain anonymous, later told friends that Princess Kate had provided him with an old sketch depicting ancient symbols and insisted on performing the work on the night of the full moon. Is it a coincidence or evidence that the princess is much more deeply involved in mystical practices than is commonly believed? In Tuam, during a ceremonial parade, an incident occurred that immediately attracted public attention. Queen Camilla, climbing the steps, lost her balance, and only thanks to the quick reaction of King Charles III was a fall avoided. This moment was captured by numerous cameras, and social networks immediately reacted, filled with messages about a curse that came into force. The noticeably pale face and convulsively clenched fist of Queen Camilla gave rise to a wave of speculation. Was it an accident or an ominous premonition of fate? Specialists in nonverbal communication, analyzing the video, noted that her appearance read not just annoyance from awkwardness, but rather confusion. A special piquancy to the situation is added by the fact that the incident occurred on the same steps where Princess Diana once stumbled during one of the official events. A comparison of photographs from these two events revealed a striking similarity, which gave food for thought about the cyclical nature of history, in which only the actors change. Princess Kate and Prince William, who witnessed the incident, exchanged glances that, according to observers, spoke louder than words. According to some reports, Kate whispered something to William, to which he replied with a nod. It remains only to guess whether it was a hint of some plan or simply an expression of support. Experts in lip reading have unsuccessfully tried to decipher the content of the princess's whisper, but the quality of the video recording was insufficient for accurate interpretation. Nevertheless, many noticed that after this short exchange, Prince William cast a look of sincere concern at Camilla, perhaps the first sign of his genuine worry about his stepmother. In 2018, during the grand opening of a garden, Camilla's attention was drawn to a statue depicting a woman surrounded by flowers. Some observers saw this sculpture as a reference to Princess Diana. Upon noticing the statue, Camilla's eyes welled up, and it was difficult to tell whether they were tears or simply a trick of the light. King Charles attempted to take her hand, but she hastily pulled away. Rumor has it from within the palace circles that Camilla tries to avoid any reminders of the past, but the shadow of bygone days continues to haunt her. The sculptor who created the statue later noted in an interview that the figure's features were inspired by classical ideals of beauty. However, many noticed a striking resemblance to the young Princess Diana. Was this done intentionally? The artist neither confirmed nor denied this version. Notably, the statue was subsequently moved to a less prominent location in the garden. The official version stated that this was done as part of a landscape design change. As for Princess Kate, according to some reports, she is studying old letters from Princess Diana, which were given to her by Prince William in 2021. It is reported that in one of the letters she found the phrase, "The shadow will take its own." Is this a mere coincidence or a key to understanding something more? One can imagine her, waiting until the children are asleep, immersing herself in reading these letters. She is also seeking out former personal assistants of Princess Diana, who have maintained good relations with Prince William. One of them said that Princess Kate shows great interest in everything related to her late mother-in-law. She not only carefully preserves her jewelry, but also seeks to find people close to Diana in the last years of her life. What is the purpose of these searches? Perhaps Kate is trying to better understand Camilla or find a way to neutralize her influence. In the corridors of power, where the fates of empires are intertwined with personal dramas, even monarchs are not immune to torment. King Charles, sitting on the throne, inherited not only the crown but also the burden of the past, which apparently weighs on him with overwhelming force. In 23, after the completion of one of the banquets, the monarch was seen alone, immersed in contemplation of the starry sky. According to sources close to him, at that moment he asked a rhetorical question to one of his friends. What if we were wrong after all? This fleeting episode, it is claimed, was a rare display of human weakness on the part of the king. Queen Camilla, it is said, felt a certain chill, despite the strength of their union. The question involuntarily arises, what is it like to rule bearing such a burden of responsibility and past mistakes? Rumor has it that King Charles looked particularly anxious that night. He mentioned strange dreams in which Princess Diana appeared to him, warning against something. She was always right, the king allegedly said, gazing at the twinkling constellations. What exactly troubled his soul remains a matter of conjecture. But it is known that after this night conversation, the monarch ordered an additional astrological forecast. Meanwhile, Prince William and Princess Kate, the heirs to the throne, are actively preparing for their future roles. It is said that they are discussing plans with friends to cleanse the throne from the past. In 2024, Princess Kate appeared in public with a new piece of jewelry, an elegant pendant decorated with an engraving of a star symbolizing hope or protection. This accessory can be seen as their strategic move in the complex game of succession. Jewelry experts, after carefully studying photographs of the pendant, concluded that the engraving is not just a star, but an ancient symbol of protection, revered in various cultures. Is this a random choice of design? Hardly, given the Duchess's special attention to detail and symbolism. Some analysts believe that this pendant is a kind of response to the growing influence of Queen Camilla at court, which adds intrigue to the complex dynamics of the royal family. Behind the scenes at Buckingham Palace, passions are running high. It is rumored that in 2025, an incident occurred that electrified the atmosphere of the royal family. Queen Consort Camilla, while trying on a crown made especially for her and containing elements of the late Elizabeth's jewelry, allegedly dropped it. Servants, frozen in silent horror, witnessed Her Majesty's nervous laughter. Adding an ominous note to this narrative, a cracked stone in the crown surfaced in an online image, sparking mystical interpretations about the impending end of an era. Damage to royal regalia, according to strict palace protocols, is considered an omen of impending misfortune. Courtiers were shocked, and jewelers rushed to repair the damage before the next public appearance. News of the incident quickly reached Princess Kate and Prince William. Kate's reaction was reportedly succinct. Time will tell. Prince William, on the other hand, remained silent, but his gaze, according to witnesses, was full of dark foreboding. This incident became not just an unfortunate accident, but a symbol of impending change. Insiders report that tension between Camilla's supporters and admirers of Duchess Kate has reached its peak. To avoid open conflict, senior courtiers have been forced to develop a special schedule minimizing the overlap between the Queen Consort and the Princess of Wales at official events. Palace intrigues are woven, and the future of the British monarchy is shrouded in a fog of uncertainty. Public eyes are on Camilla, the Queen Consort, whose biography seems shrouded in mystery. From ominous omens appearing in dreams to suddenly damaged symbols of power, everything points to a possible curse hanging over the royal family. King Charles III sits on the throne, but his reign seems precarious. Princess Kate and Prince William, heirs to the throne, are waiting for their moment, but Camilla's ominous shadow seems to obscure their path. This is not just palace intrigue, but a real struggle for the future of the Windsor dynasty. Mystical signs are becoming more and more obvious. Ancient family jewels, fatal falls, damage to regalia. Are these events coincidental, or is fate hinting that old wounds have not yet healed? King Charles and Camilla project well in public, but behind the palace walls, the atmosphere is reportedly oppressive. Princess Kate may be resorting to secret amulets, while Prince William maintains an icy calm, awaiting the right moment. The ghost of Princess Diana, according to some accounts, still roams the corridors of royal residences. In this regard, legitimate questions arise. Is this a coincidence or revenge from the past? Is Camilla a victim of circumstances, or is she the main culprit? And what awaits the British monarchy if the ancient curse really exists? Apparently, the answers to these questions will soon be known, as all indications are that the resolution of this mystical story is not